Welcome to Fathom on Tour 2026. We're really excited. We had a few webinars last year with great turnout and a lot of excitement. And I know there's a lot of expectation for today. What we have in store, what did we release in our last version at the end of 2025? What's coming out in 2026 in our latest version? And what do we have going on at Fathom for the rest of the year? So today's the day. It's our first webinar of 2026 as well. We're very excited. We'll have a few more. My name's Jonathan, Master Ceremonies for today's webinar. I'm here with Itamar Rotem, our Chief Product Officer, who
Hi,
will
everyone.
share a little bit, of the roadmap. But today's focus for anyone new, I will give a brief foundation into what Fathom is. So anyone who's a current or long-term customer, don't get bored or leave on me. It'll be a quick foundation for anyone new. Um, but since this is for our customers, we're going to be focusing on what's new for you, so you can learn a lot more about how Fathom can help you as you move forward with our product in 2026. So what's on the schedule for today? First off, uh, we'll give you a high look at what's new in Fathom. We'll also give a demo of the new version, how you can work on Fathom, what's new, how to use it, what's the behind the scenes on it, and of course as well the roadmap, what's coming in the upcoming releases, what's our vision. And at the end of the conversation, we'll have a live Q&A. Ask anything you guys have, whether it's from the basic questions to the more advanced questions on the old version, the new version, anything you want to ask, whether it's, commercials, tech, support, whatever it might be. We're here to answer all your questions. This is the time for you guys to have our full attention, and live question and answer will be at the end. So to give a brief foundation into Fathom, Fathom is an agentless business application dependency mapping solution. We map anything with an IP address across your entire IT infrastructure, physical on-prem, virtual to the cloud. You can see all the main sources on the top left. And we map and document your environment 24/7. It's a quick and easy installation. Anyone that wants to get started, if you're not a current customer, you can go to our website and download it. Within 60 minutes, you can be up and running and seeing a live map of your IT infrastructure. Something that you can throw out the Visio files and start working with Fathom. We update automatically in real time, and it's completely secure. So your InfoSec team should have no worries. No agents, no need to open up server credentials, firewalls. It's a server-based solution that sits on your environment. And what can we help with, right? A lot of our customers are using us for certain projects, initiatives, but we can help with so many different things, even the ones that you don't see on this slide. The biggest thing, of course, everyone talks about AI. What's AI? AI, it's 2026. Some people like it, some people don't. I'll leave that up to you. You can tell me in the chat if you do. But AI is really only as good as information that you give it, right? And that's the biggest issue is a lot of companies that we meet and a lot of our customers before they start using Fathom, they're using outdated information, Visio, Excel, manual older tools. And if you start pushing AI into it, you're losing out on the information because there are gaps. So what can Fathom provide for you? Full discovery of your hybrid environment, on-prem cloud. You're seeing everything all under one roof, providing you full documentation of all your assets for change management, updating the maps 24/7 so you can see changes, whether they're good, they're bad, they're old, they're new, and of course the dependencies. What's the impact of the changes that occur in my environment or the ones that I want to do for maintenance, change control, troubleshooting, and also for any project where you need that data. For example, a cloud migration, uh, moving back from the cloud, data center moves, and even if you're planning or even just testing a disaster recovery environment or a business continuity plan, you can of course optimize your environment. And the big one, of course, is cybersecurity, right? If you can't protect your environment or shut down subnets if you don't know what you have. Fathom can help with everything in your environment because we're mapping and documenting 24/7. And the focus on today will be two new features, our micro-segmentation planning module and our Lighthouse AI, our AI traffic anomaly detection, which I'll get into in a couple of minutes. Um, and we'll get into a little bit more on the roadmap in a few minutes as well. But at a glance, I'm sure some of you have seen it if you've upgraded to the latest version. If you haven't, quickly go to download.fathom.com. It's even in the UI. You can click on it and upgrade really quickly into it, and see it now. We'll start with the micro-segmentation module. You'll see it live in about 2 minutes, but it's a policy planner and enforcer for your environment to segment between servers We have advanced integrations with different tools, monitoring tools, CMDBs, um, IP discovery. You can discover your IPs very quickly, very easily with Fathom instead of manually searching or pinging. And of course, a new view for our application dependencies. I'm sure you've already seen it. Maybe you've seen the older version as well with the tiers. And now we have a newer version for the business applications. And of course, the last one or the first one here is our Lighthouse AI. It's something we're really excited. It's our AI traffic anomaly detection. No more manual thresholds. AI will learn what's normal and alert you on any changes or any spikes in the traffic. Um, Bear with me for about 30 seconds while I switch the screen. So, of course, just like the first two slides, just a brief foundation into what Fathom can give you. For anyone new, if you're a current customer, you're using this, daily. Fathom will map and document your IT infrastructure. The way Fathom runs is we'll connect to your hypervisor. Then it runs with network traffic protocols like NetFlow, SFlow, and Cloudflow logs. There's no pinging or scanning or updating 24/7. And you're able to see here a quick glimpse of a map, right? This is live data. You can see if I take Apache 1 to Tomcat 1, you can see source, destination, and the port number are running on port 80. You can see the flow of the direction with the arrow. You can see how long when it was last seen, and we can tell you the status that the connection was successful or failing. Green is successful, red is failing, and gray is inactive. When it's active, it'll turn to green. You can see save the search. You can see in a list view. You can export it out, and this data is live, always updating 24/7. And at a high level, this is where we are getting the dependencies, right? So I'm going to skip over to next screen. Once you save a map here, or you want to start mapping out your business applications instead of just a search, you can create a map and map it out there. Or you can start to work with what you saved in the previous screen. And Fathom will continuously update. You can see the different maps here, the different understanding. And one of the things that Fathom has, one of the newest version, we have a Zabbix integration, and you can really understand and see the changes and see the events, right? If you integrate Fathom with Zabbix and someone on the team calls you up and says, hey, the ERP is down, instead of manually searching and trying to understand what has caused the ERP to fail, you can see on the right, there's a red dot, severity error. You can see the dot in the tier. You can open up the tier, open up Tomcat, because you see that each one has a red dot. Open up Tomcat, see operation events. You can see the link is down. So now you can understand exactly what the impact is when ERP goes down and what you need to fix, and we'll remove the manual work. So this is part of our Zabbix integration. Of course, any notifications in Fathom can be sent out to any tool like ServiceNow, so you have it there. And this is just the deep dive into the server mapping and the server to business application dependencies. And we have a new view, the server dependence, the application dependencies. Here you can see they're grouped into the different folders. And of course, if you double click on them, you can see the different applications within them. And you can see the dependencies, giving you, another zoom out view versus server to application or the subnets. Now you can see the application dependencies, the incoming and outgoing traffic, the amount of traffic, the shared servers. You're really seeing exactly what the impact will be in the environment if you make any changes to the business application as well. And this is all live data that you're able to understand completely once you save each map by hitting the create, either by saving it from the search, hitting create map. We do it through network traffic, recommended list, and of course we have tags. One of the things that we have, it's a great feature to have that a lot of our customers were talking to us about was they have trouble finding free IP addresses. They would tell us that they would manually look, they would ping servers, and when you ping a server, you're creating traffic, and it would just take them a long time to get something as simple as a free IP. So with Fathom, you're able to see the free IPs in the network. So if I choose a subnet, right, choose VLAN 3, hit search, and Fathom's able to see what IPs are free in your network. Here we're using only 2% of the IPs, and you can see exactly which IPs you have. So no more testing, no more asking, and no more manual searching for each free IP. You have it right here in Fathom, and you can understand everything that you have today, whether you're using it or not using it. So as I mentioned, Fathom can help with many different projects, many different initiatives. We can help optimize your environment. We can help with cloud migrations or data center moves, audits, CMDB population. But some of the newer modules we focus on are in our secure module. All right. So today you can already see our micro-segmentation module. Um, Faddom is a read-only tool, right? But now we're able to help create policies and push policies to your segmentation tools, your micro-segmentation tools, and we're able to lock down your network. All right. If previously Faddom was able to see your entire network and just help you understand what you have, now we can help lock it down. So how can we do that? So, and if you're whoever has Faddom open, if you're in a trial or you're a customer, you can follow along with me, and of course you can check out the support articles for the demonstration if you don't want to see it live. And you hit Add New Policy, and you go by application map. So here I'll take the ERP, our workhorse. I hit Next, and here we're able to see the traffic rules. This is automatically done. You can hit Next and continue, or if you want to remove something from the policy, you can manually remove it. But this is just an overall view of your environment and the understanding of what the policies will be, the communications between the different servers within the business application. If I hit Next, then I start to see the dependencies, right? What's the impact if I make that change? What will be infected by creating those rules? If you want to add the dependencies to the rule itself, you can just hit the plus sign on the right side and it will add to the policy. And finally, I hit Next again, and you're able to see, right, the source and the secured entity, but the source, the platform, and of course, if you want to allow the traffic or not. And until now, and even now, of course, you can export it manually, right, with the button on the top right. But now Faddom can save and apply the policies. So today we have Nutanix's, we have integration and a partnership with Nutanix and their Nutanix Flow micro-segmentation module coming soon. We're also working with VMware's NSX, AWS, and GCP. And today you hit apply selected, and then we'll be able to push the policies to the micro-segmentation tool. So Faddom not only can share with you and help you understand the impacts, but now can push the policies. And beyond that, what we can do, if I discard this, we can also see in the web portal, for example, we can see all the communication, all the changes that occurred, right, by what you've done. Okay, so now you can understand everything that's happening. And of course, the actual map in Faddom, right, as I told you before, and as you guys know, right, the green connection is a successful connection, and the red connection is a failing connection. So if the micro-segmentation was done correctly, the different connections should turn from green or gray to red because they were being blocked by our firewall. So the connection is failing. This is our new micro-segmentation module. We're very excited. We're continuing to add new integrations into it. And of course, everything revolves around your information. This updates 24/7 live. And today, AI is the name of the game, right? Everything is always, people want to know AI, how it's going to help you. Directors, right? People like it, people don't. Not a debate for today. But Faddom, of course, we're joining, and we have added our Compass AI chat today, which I'll actually skip over to now. But today you can ask the Compass AI, our chat, questions about your environment. If before today you weren't sure where to find something, and I'm not talking about support where help me with configurations, but in your environment itself, you want to see a list of servers, you want to see the dependencies, you want to see the users, who's accessing what at what time, even charts. You can see charts here as well, and you can continue to ask the questions. And of course, like any AI, will start to think, and then it'll provide you the answer. And you can start, instead of speaking, calling me up or asking if you're support representative or account manager and asking them questions on how Faddom works. You can ask Faddom itself, and I'll start to provide you information. And this is already there today in Faddom. You can use it, enjoy. And now we have the newest thing, right? The crown jewel of Faddom that we're ready to bring out. It is our Lighthouse AI. which is currently in beta. So what is Lighthouse AI, right? Lighthouse AI is Fathom's new deep learning based AI engine for detecting unusual traffic behavior and potential security threats. Lighthouse AI is built on a multi-layered deep learning architecture, and it continuously learns the characteristics of your environment and surfaces only the most relevant insights and reduces alert noise over time. Some of the key areas where Lighthouse AI can help our customers and the cybersecurity teams include threats such as denial of service, man-in-the-middle attacks, DNS spoofing, port scanning, data exfiltration, and additional network abnormalities. I'm sure, I'm focusing on the demo here, but I'm sure there's some questions coming out from the crowd is how does it work, right? Fathom constantly sends traffic data to Lighthouse, right? Fathom's updating 24/7 through the network traffic, like NetFlow, and a minimum of 2 weeks is required of data. Fathom will continue until it has at least 2 weeks, right? Because we're working on anomalies, and how can we know what anomaly is if we don't know what the baseline is? Once 2 weeks is received, Fathom will continue to check and analyze the data. And then if there is an anomaly, Fathom will detect it. Of course, you have to configure notifications within Fathom. You can do that in the settings for Lighthouse to work, right? Notifications to any type of tool, ServiceNow, web, Slack, Teams, whatever you might use. And then Fathom will show you the anomalies that we detected. So if I click on one of them, we can start to see the source was Tomcat 2. The target was Apache 3, port 80. And we know exactly what it was. It occurred, I think this is about a week ago at 4:20 p.m. And the connection displayed an atypical communication pattern with unexpected source, request, and response packet counts. And you can see the traffic, the request, and the response. And you can see when it occurred. All right, now I'm going back 14 days. Of course, you can zoom in on the traffic. You can, of course, zoom in even further. This is something I just found out. So you can zoom in even further and see the exact change and zoom in even further. And now you can see the exact change in the traffic, in the request bytes, in the response bytes, and really understand exactly what the anomaly is. And you can decide, right? What will Fathom tell you? Fathom will tell you this is an anomaly to it. Of course, you are the manager of your IT infrastructure. You're the expert. You know what's right and what's wrong, and you can review it. You can review the anomaly, and you can either give us a thumbs up, keep alerting me on this, or thumbs down, ignore it. I'm okay with it. It's something, it's not an anomaly, it's something known about. And of course, you can give details, and then you'll hit save, and Fathom will ignore it in the future. And this is crucial for your cybersecurity teams to analyze the data, right? For public universities, government agencies, anyone that has many different users, hospitals and healthcare companies, anyone that has a lot of users who's coming in, potential attacks, cybersecurity risks, or even just day-to-day understanding of what's happening in your environment, Lighthouse AI will analyze it and help you understand it. To ensure data privacy, the information sent to Lighthouse is abstracted from your Fathom server. It strips any identifiable data before processing. So while we analyze connections, patterns, and behavior, there's no access to actual IP addresses, host names, or any other identifying information on your environment. Fathom is a lightweight tool. It's completely secure. No information is sent out that's identifiable. So Lighthouse AI is currently in beta, as you can see with the little button. If you're interested in being one of our customers to try it out, you can reach out to our support team, to your account manager, to our customer success team, to request access, and we'll put you on the waiting list. But we're very excited, and in a couple of minutes, Itamar will share with you a little bit more on the general release dates. So that's a little bit on Fathom, a little bit of an overview. Bear with me while I go back to the slide. We're very excited for you guys to use it and provide your feedback. We have as well Ofer Regev, our CTO, who has joined the call as well to help answer any questions that you guys asked. Does Lighthouse collect data from my environment?
So course, Lighthouse collects data from the environment, right? Because in order to to learn your environment and to be able to alert on anything out of the ordinary, it needs to be able to get data from the environment. Uh, First of all the data that we store is secure, encrypted in our cloud. But in addition to that, we don't collect any sensitive data. No IP addresses, no server names, no application names. It's all just numbers and statistics, which can't really be traced back to any specific server. So your data is safe.
Thank you, Ofer. Um, Going on to the next one. How does Fathom fit into an environment that already has monitoring and alerting tools in place?
Mm, that's a great question. I'm sure Offer will have something to add more, but I think in general, Fathom is a complementary platform to any monitoring tools, right? Because we are not trying to compete with monitoring tools. This is a tool for the day-to-day operations. So Fathom, as the one who has the broad context of traffic flows and understanding the context, building application maps, understanding the impact or the root cause of things, while monitoring can actually monitor those servers on a real-time basis. So in Fathom, we do have some performance statistics on the different servers by integrating with the APIs of hypervisors, for example, VMware. But we always wanted to make sure that our users would be able to consume monitoring events in the broad context. And once it was validated with a survey, over 100 users replied, thank you guys for helping us shaping it. We understood that by integrating monitoring events to Fathom, first of all, probably the GUI is way more intuitive with comparing to most of the monitoring tools. But not only that, the context, you can deep dive, you can investigate, you can see the traffic, see the dependencies, a live map, understanding the impact. So I see it as a complementary partnership, and so is Zabbix. That's why they partner with us on that.
And I think Itamar, the main focus as well is to go back to the Fathom's main focus, right? What do we give
Right.
you? It's the business applications, the real-time live data that's done automatically, and of course the dependencies, knowing the dependencies. So we can fit in with a monitoring tool that might give you a lot of information, APM tools, server monitoring, but to fit in to understand what the business impact will be, the impact of the changes you do in your business applications, is fundamental to what Fathom is. That other tools, I won't say that they miss, but it's not their main focus or their focus at all.
I
Fantastic.
agree.
So we have a question on Zabbix from Angel. The inclusion of down data is from Zabbix Integration. Is that correct?
Yeah, please offer.
Fathom does not do monitoring itself. So any kind of information, if the server, the only kind of events you'll see on server that are from Fathom are things like an anomaly from Lighthouse,
Hmm.
or if there's you know a certificate that's expired and you have a certificate discovery enabled in your environment. That's the kind of things you'll see from Fathom. But all the other information, like if a service is down or if if it's a network interface that has an issue or even a performance or disk space kind of issue, that will usually come from a third-party integration, whether Zabbix or any other monitoring platform.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ofer.
And yeah, connecting to other tools, to more platforms, and getting more data into Fathom is definitely on our roadmap.
I'd like to thank everyone for joining our webinar today. It's really great to see such a large turnout, a diverse turnout from people all across the world. Thank you to Itamar and Ofer from my team for joining us and helping to provide a bit of a look into the roadmap and answer all your questions. And as we said, guys, feel free to upgrade Fathom, now to see the new micro-segmentation module, to see the new tiered maps and application dependencies, and of course, as well, request access to Lighthouse AI. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is our first webinar of 2026. So we look forward to seeing you guys at the next one soon enough. Thank you very much for today, and have a great day.